Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a past, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one. Working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooter's gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I fall, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. Grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a past, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah.
Hello again, for those of you who were with me a little while ago. For those of you who weren't, hi. I'm going to say my hellos before we start. For those of you who don't know about this case, it came across my YouTube feed yesterday. Maybe it was this morning. I can't remember. Either way, I watched this video and I was like, are you kidding me? So I decided that I was going to talk about this today as well, in addition to Maria Gonzalez, which if you have not seen the video of Maria, I would suggest, you take a gander at it, although it is hard to hear. And that is the case of a little girl who was essayed and strangled inside her apartment, and police are still looking for the person who did it. So yeah, the stream from earlier, it's rough, but it's important. So let me just scroll up here. So Kay, hello, Denise, Outlaw. Yes, and it's bizarre. Shauna, hello. Bash, oh Bash, I didn't even see your, that's so weird. I didn't even see your comment on my phone. Evil Queen Yaya, no, they did not. I can say with certainty they did not. We're actually going to watch a video of the entire incident. Thunder, hello. Lurker. Cool Gamer, hello. Generally Jenny, Mama Schmida, Sinner, Tracy Esme, Dutch Oma. Hello, Mary. Rowdy. Rowdy's got number 2. Number 2 so far. All right. So for anyone else, we're going to get started. So this again, actually, let me just move this. So I had named this Case of Mistaken Identity, Boy 12 arrested taking out the trash. And this occurred on August 10th, so almost a week ago in Lansing, Michigan. And it really didn't get a lot of exposure until someone posted the video of the incident on TikTok, which we are going to watch. But first, we are going to move to this article from, I think, yes, The Independent. So this was 3 days ago. Michigan officials apologized after wrongly arresting 12-year-old black boy in, quote, unfortunate incident. And there is a still photo of them leading the boy to the police car. The mayor and law enforcement officials in Lansing, Michigan are apologizing to the family of a 12-year-old black boy who was wrongfully arrested as a suspected car thief. Viral footage of the boy's arrest on August 10th, while he was taking out the trash from his home, shows a white officer leading the boy through a parking lot with his hands cuffed behind his back. A lawyer representing... Aw, Sinner, that's so nice of you. Thank you. And Dutch Oma, congratulations. Welcome to the Stoners. And no, not that kind of stoner. Hey, Slime. Tribal Gal. I'm not sure if I said hi to you. I think I did say hi to you, Tribal Gal, but if not, I said hi again. Yeah, I agree, Shauna. And we're going to get to that. So again, a lawyer representing the family told the Associated Press that the boy was initially approached by an officer with an unholstered gun, quote, and was holding it in front of him, end quote. The footage shows a man identified as the boy's father, Michael Bernard, approaching the officer as the boy is brought to a patrol car and placed in the rear seat. Roughly 3 minutes into the video, officers remove the cuffs and walk him towards his father. They traumatized my son, Mr. Bernard can be heard saying in the video. The first in a series of statements issued by the Lansing Police Department called the incident an unfortunate misunderstanding. A second statement said the boy was released to his father when eliminated as the accused. Officials said that the boy was wearing the same clothes as a suspect in a vehicle theft investigation. Quote, it's unfortunate that incidents like this occur, but through communication and sharing of information, we can help people understand the whole story. We understand that something like this has an impact on all parties involved, end quote. Lansing Police Chief Ellery Sosaby said in a statement. As the chief of police, oh, good, Queen Bella's here. I've been waiting for you, girl. Let me start over. As the chief of police, I want to apologize that this incident has such an effect on this young man and his family. I'm asking for the community to consider all the facts of the situation before making a judgment. A statement from Lansing Mayor Andy Shore said police made a mistake in detaining the wrong person during a vehicle theft investigation. I joined Chief Sosaby in offering my apologies to the young man and to his family. Police remain in contact with the boy's family and are providing resources and support for any trauma as a result of the incident. Our officers do their absolute best to protect Lansing, but in this case, a mistake was made and we own it and we apologize to those affected. As mayor, I once again offer my sincere apology to this young man. Lawyers for the boy's family are exploring all legal options, including a potential lawsuit, attorneys Ayanna and Rico Neal said during a virtual press conference. The incident comes as the Detroit Police Department faces heightened scrutiny after a series of wrongful arrests of Black residents who were incorrectly targeted by facial recognition technology. And that's it. So that might actually be interesting, a different case to look at. So next we are going to watch the actual TikTok video. Yes, Slime Nose. And they will have, we'll get to, they have a side-by-side, and while the clothes look similar, there is a stark difference in stature. I'll just say that. So again, this is the TikTok video that got the story out.
A kid bringing out his trash to be dumped, and he's getting harassed by the police.
He was taking out his trash, yo.
His dad's coming out to see why they have put his son in handcuffs.
I know, Slime News, and I actually thought of the same thing. Thank goodness his dad was there and saw what was happening. Because who knows what, we don't know what would have happened, but thankfully dad was there and was able to get him released.
Yo, they put him in handcuffs. He was just coming to dump. Yo, that was the wrong shit, yo. But what the kid do, though?
And even this person videotaping can tell that that is a kid, not a man. So, I mean, maybe the person videoing knows who the kid is, but he said, like, this kid was just taking out the trash.
Use that as an excuse, man. It doesn't matter once you're black, you match any description. Bottom line.
He fit the description. That's for bullshit.
You're gonna get the perfect description of a black kid having on a clean short. Right? That's a 12-year-old.
It ain't even him.
Bring the garbage on, and this is the bullshit he's going through.
I seen it. I seen it.
I'm just washing up my dishes. I said, son, can you take the garbage down?
That's what he did.
You get what I'm saying? And that's a trauma. They traumatized my son. You know?
That's the wrong shit, though. That's wrong shit, yo. For real. Got the K9 and shit.
All these cops for a teenage kid.
Yo, the wrong person, yo.
My son comes out and to enter the garbage. And that's what he's going through. This is bullshit he's going through.
That's some bullshit. He right, though. He got a right to speak.
I agree. Evil Queen Yaya, these incidents traumatize everyone, erodes trust. And I mean, and again, like that, it was hard to hear what the dad was saying until he got closer. And dad does have an accent. That makes it a little bit more difficult. But his son is right here standing by the cop car. they took him out. So now he's got 1, 2, 3. Well, he had 4 police officers standing around him. Now there's 3. I don't know where the other one went.
Fight whatever.
Oh, there's the other one. Oh, now there's 5 police officers around him. Okay.
Wrong description and shit.
They done arrested him, brought the canine down here. Now they've arrested the young boy, but then traumatized him. All these cops put him in a cop car.
And I'm sorry, I can tell that that's a kid. Yes, he's tall. However, he's got lanky legs. He looks young. When you see the side by side of the person they were pursuing, there is a stark difference in stature, at least in my opinion. Right, exactly. 5 men and women with guns surrounding a kid who was taking out his garbage. Yes. So you're walking out, taking out your trash, and all of a sudden you have cop cars. And again, this video didn't show what happened prior. I'm hoping that someone will FOIA the body cam footage, because I would love to see what happened before this person started recording.
Now they about to tell lies.
Yes, all knees and elbows. You got that, Kay.
They was wrong for that shit, man. They was wrong for that shit. The boy dramatized, boy. That boy fucked up. Well, look at that motherfucker. He crying and shit. What? What?
Yeah, I believe these 3 officers are women. And it was hard to tell based, I mean, on my computer I could see, but on my phone it's a little bit harder to see. And then there was at least one guy. But again, there's how many cop cars? I mean, there's probably at least 6 or 7 officers here. Like, insane.
You said what? They can't do nothing with me.
All right, so that was the TikTok video. So now we are going to move to this is an interview with the boy and his parents and then his lawyers. So the name of this is Lansing police detained a black child who was in the wrong place, wrong time, department says.
All right, now we want to talk about some viral video from a case of mistaken identity, and it is sparking outrage tonight. It shows a 12-year-old boy being arrested by Lansing police as he took out the trash at his own apartment complex. Police say they confused him for a suspect in a string of car thefts. 7 Action News reporter Brett Cast has more on the fallout.
More than 3 million views in roughly 24 hours. This TikTok video shows 12-year-old Tayshawn Bernard in handcuffs with a Lansing police officer in the parking lot of his own apartment, just minutes after his dad asked him to take the trash out to the dumpster.
While I was in the kitchen, you know, the time was going by so much, I was like, something is wrong. So I went out the apartment and I glanced through the railing and I saw him with cuffs on and police standing around.
His father, Michael Bernard, is also seen in the video coming outside to find out what happened. Seen here speaking with police, he was eventually told his son was a suspect in a car theft.
After dumping the trash in the dumpster, he was approached from a police officer who had his gun unholstered and was holding it in front of him and detained Tayshawn, again, a 12-year-old child, and he was put in handcuffs and then placed into the back of the police vehicle.
According to a statement from Lansing police, a suspect in a car theft had run towards the apartment complex.
And actually, I am going to read this. I don't believe they read all of this. So again, this was a post from the Lansing Police Department. Excuse me. We are aware of a video circulating social media. We want to provide some background information on this unfortunate misunderstanding. On Thursday afternoon, our officers were investigating a string of Kia thefts, including a specific one reported on the 3600 block of West Jolly Road with multiple suspects. A witness described a suspect as wearing neon shorts and a white shirt. A responding officer saw a subject matching this description and attempted to make contact, but the subject fled and ran west into the nearby apartment complex. A different officer was in the area and saw the young man pictured in the viral video wearing a very similar outfit and made contact with him. The initial officer was able to respond and clarify the young man in the video was not the suspect who fled earlier. Once this information was obtained, the young man was released and officers continued to search the area. We are including pictures of both individuals. We have blurred both photos to protect the identities of the subjects. Community relations is a top priority for us as a department from top down. Our hope is we can put this unfortunate case of wrong place, wrong time behind us and continue to represent the community that we serve.
Wearing neon shorts and a white shirt. Police released a side.
Okay, so here's the side by side. Now, this is the 12-year-old on the right, tall and lanky. That's what I see. This is the suspect. I see short, much shorter. Like the shorts go down to his knees. He's much shorter. This 12-year-old, the shorts go above his knee. And again, lanky, not lanky. Yes, and I actually thought about that too. Neon does not necessarily mean green. It could be neon green, or I'm sorry, I said green, yellow. So it doesn't necessarily have to be yellow, green. It could be pink, it could be orange, etc., etc., etc. So, oh, I know. When you see his face, absolutely. And we're going to hear from the boy. He did an exclusive with GMA this morning. I believe it was this morning. So we are going to hear from him as well.
By side comparison of the suspect and Tayshawn, who was in a gray shirt, saying they blurred the images to protect identities.
The photo is grainy, and it is such that the photograph.
And granted, he could have, ditched his shoes, but this dude has black sneakers or something on. This kid has flip-flops. Well, it looks like flip-flops. It's hard to tell in the picture here, but like the shoes aren't even the same. So you're telling me that this person took off running and was able to ditch his shoes and get flip-flops? Ugh. Oh, I know, sinner.
Makes it appear that the shirt that our client was wearing was white when it in fact was gray.
The initial post from police also called it a case of, quote, wrong place, wrong time that they hope to put behind them, making no direct apology to Tayshawn or his family.
This is unacceptable. This has been a traumatic experience to our client, an experience that will affect him for the rest of his life.
A few hours later, Chief Ellery Sosby followed up with another statement saying, quote, as the chief of police, I want to apologize that this incident had such an effect on this young man.
Okay, and I am going to read this one as well because they don't read the whole thing. So this was a second post. Please see below statement from Chief Ellery Sosby. The officers of the Lansing Police Department are working very hard to address the recent car thefts plaguing our city. In doing so, yesterday officers detained a young man who was wearing similar clothing and in the same apartment complex as an accused car thief who fled from officers on foot. When the officer made initial contact, it was near a trash bin, but was after he had disposed of any garbage. The young man was then released to his father when eliminated as the accused. The command officer on scene made contact with the young man's father and explained the situation and apologized for the misunderstanding. I have reviewed the incident and can confirm The officer who contacted and detained the young man was respectful and professional during his investigation. It's unfortunate that incidents like this occur, but through communication and sharing of information, we can help people understand the whole story. We understand that something like this has an impact on all parties involved. As the chief of police, I want to apologize that this incident has such an effect on this young man and his family. I'm asking for the community to consider all the facts of the situation before making a judgment. The relationship with our community has been and will continue to be a top priority for the Lansing Police Department. Yeah, no apology. And it was, I mean, no, just it's a misunderstanding, wrong place, wrong time. As soon as we realized it wasn't the accused, we let the boy go. It was an officer. So an officer with whoever this suspect was, the officer had tried to detain that person. The initial description came from the first officer, who then related to, other officers. And then the second officer saw this boy walking with a similar clothing, at which time he was detained.
And his family. I'm asking for the community to consider all the facts of the situation before making a judgment.
When this is all said and done, what we hope to have happen is that this incident does not happen to not only Tayshaun, but to many other Black young men who are walking the streets of this country today.
And the Bernard family attorneys say they have not ruled out filing a lawsuit against Lansing police. I'm Brett Cast, 7 Action News.
All right. Thank you so much, Brett. Now, the mayor of Lansing also apologizing. Mayor Andy Shore.
And so now this is the mayor, Andy Shore. These are his statements.
Released a statement saying, in part, our officers do their absolute best to protect Lansing. But in this case, a mistake was made, and we own it and apologize to those affected.
Okay. So now we are going to the last video I have. Sorry about that. Oh, wait, I have 2 more. Okay, so this is police in Michigan apologize after handcuffing a 12-year-old. So this just kind of summarizes what we've already heard and seen, but this is just kind of for those of you who may be coming in late, you can see what is happening.
And ABC News legal contributor and trial attorney Brian Buckmeyer joins me now.
Oh, yes, and they also have a legal explanation, I guess. I'm losing my words, about the situation.
Now for more on this, Brian, both the mayor and police of Lansing, Michigan say they've apologized to Tayshaun Bernard and the family. They call this a mistake. What kind of a legal impact do you think this could have?
Well, I'll take it in 2 parts. The mayor, I think, is more of an apology, but I don't understand the police saying wrong place and wrong time. Who's in the wrong place at the wrong time when a 12-year-old boy is throwing out trash? In terms of legal ramifications, I think it might do well in terms of bringing them to the negotiation table. But unfortunately, because of the lack of what a legal term be damages in this case that he was released so quickly, they might not have the strongest of legal claims here.
Now, police said that Tayshaun matched the description of a suspect that they were looking for. His attorney says that the suspect was wearing a white shirt, and you just heard it. He was saying Tayshaun was not wearing a white shirt. So what do you make of that? How much do details like that matter if this does end up in court?
Details mean everything. In terms of how much information the 911 operator or other officers then giving to the other officer who's ultimately making the arrest. But unfortunately, as I've experienced myself, experienced with my clients, written in a book, if you are between the ages of 12 and 22 as a Black man, you will always match the description. They're not going to go beyond what you look like or what you're wearing. So a gray bluish shirt can look like a white shirt.
Queen Bella, that I do not know. The family hasn't stated that I was able to find that they have received an individual apology.
A 12-year-old boy can look like a 22-year-old man if the information is not properly conveyed.
Now, the family now says they are considering suing the police department. Based on what we know so far, how strong do you think their case could be?
The issue that I have here with the legal ramifications is that I don't think there's going to be much they can get. And the reason for that is it comes down to damages. You go to court and you say, yes, they made a mistake, but they have qualified immunity. They tried their best. It was close enough. But unfortunately, the way that we allow police to operate in this country, close enough, they get away with day in and day out, especially if there are no injuries. The court will say, what was his injuries? He sat in a car for a few minutes. They're not looking at the mental trauma that's going to happen afterwards. They're only going to look at that snapshot of what happened. So unfortunately, the law comes far from being able to help this family.
Now, our viewers know you as an attorney, but you are also an author. You wrote the book Come Home Safe, which is a novel about two teenagers accused of a crime they didn't commit. You say you wrote this book to help families navigate the difficult conversations revolving around racial inequality and mistreatment. So what do you make of how all the parties involved handled this situation, from the police to Tayshaun and his family?
So unfortunately, we measure the police with, did anyone die? Which I think is a horrible marker, but thankfully, no one died in this situation. Tayshaun didn't run like a scared 12-year-old, which would totally make sense.
And that is actually what Dad says, is what would have happened if my son ran because he was afraid. So, you know, you have all of these police officers and they arrest you. What would have happened if his son got scared?
And he is able to go back home to his father. I think he handled himself in the best way possible in trying to de-escalate the situation in both the way he responded and the way he did not respond to the officers. The father, understandably frustrated, but he let his frustration only go up until a point. Now, for me, it's less about what we see in the video. I'm concerned about what happens afterwards, the conversations with Tayshaun, how he and his father are going to work and operate with this trauma that he's experienced, because you could see it in the way he walked away and how he grows after this. And for law enforcement, do better. Simply saying wrong place and wrong time is not adequate. Work on your evidence.
And I agree. Wrong place, wrong time. That is lame.
Collection, your information gathering, and the distribution you give. So it's not just two pieces of clothing that you're describing us with, because that's a child at the end of the day, and he was not treated as such.
All right, Brian Buckmeyer, ABC News contributor. Always great to have your legal analysis and your take on this, Brian. Thank you.
Yeah, what would have happened if there was no video? And this is all because of TikTok. So, you know, TikTok, take it for what it's worth. However, in instances like this, TikTok, this video went viral and it's now in mainstream media. So again, what would have happened if there was no video? I wouldn't be talking about it, most likely. Yeah, I agree, Amy. It can happen to anyone, and it's not okay. All right, so the last video I have for us is an interview with Tayshaun, and he speaks out to Good Morning America and Michael Strahan.
Now to an ABC News exclusive with the 12-year-old handcuffed by police while he was taking out the trash. Police said with a case of mistaken identity. DeMarco Morgan is here with that. Good morning, DeMarco.
Michael, good morning to you. The father says what happened to his son should have never happened, telling us the 12-year-old boy is a straight-A student in school who wants to later become an engineer. The father going on to say the situation could have ended badly had his son panicked and took off running.
Right, exactly.
When it happened, I was really shocked and frightened about the situation and how it happened.
This morning, 12-year-old Tayshaun Bernard speaking out for the first time after being handcuffed and detained by Lansing, Michigan police while taking out the trash in what authorities are calling a case of mistaken identity.
And right now I'm feeling just the same way, just really shocked how this could have came to this circumstance of what's going on.
A kid bringing out his trash to be dumped.
Cell phone video of the incident seen by millions, sparking outrage and a demand for answers.
I was so mad I didn't want to hear anything.
His father, Michael Bernard, horrified and disgusted.
In this time and era in America, I am scared for anything to happen to my son.
Michael says it all started when he asked his son to take the trash out to the dumpster at their apartment complex last Thursday.
He was taking out his trash, yo.
When the preteen didn't return after being gone for several minutes, the father says he looked outside to find Tayshaun surrounded by police.
And I did just look quickly at the original TikTok video, and it currently has 5.2 million views, and it has been shared. I can't count how many times through other TikTok creators.
I saw police around him. So I dropped what I had in my hand and rushed downstairs. And I said to the police officer, I said, why you have my son in handcuffs? What's the problem?
Tayshawn was released moments later, but visibly shaken, turning his back to officers as his father, seen here visibly upset as well, continuing to chastise officers as a neighbor continues to record.
I'm just washing up my dishes. I said, son, can you take the garbage down?
That's what he did.
You get what I'm saying? And that's a trauma that traumatized my son.
He's still puzzled until now. He asks a question, what have I done?
The Lansing Police Department posting on Facebook, our officers was pursuing a suspect in a string of Kia thefts wearing neon shorts and a white shirt. A different officer was in the area and saw Tayshawn wearing a very similar outfit and put cuffs on him. Attorneys for the boys say Tayshawn did not have on a white shirt.
The shirt that he was wearing was a light gray or a light bluish color shirt. There's no mistaking if you see that shirt.
The department continuing, our hope is we can put this unfortunate case of wrong place, wrong time behind us and continue to represent the community that we serve. And the police chief later posting a separate apology. This morning, the Bernard family wanted accountability and says they are keeping all options on the table, including the possibility of filing a lawsuit.
I want justice for my son. Justice.
The mayor also apologizing for the ordeal, telling ABC News LPD is in contact with the family and providing support for any trauma involved, saying our officers do their absolute best to protect Lansing. But in this case, a mistake was made and we own it and apologize to those affected. But the family tells us in response, they have yet to be contacted by the mayor or police.
Oh, and I cut it off, but I agree. You know, a statement is one thing, but actually going to those affected and apologizing directly is a lot different. So, yes. So I'm just going to look at comments and then we're going to wrap this up. But thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it. And I wanted to tell Tayshawn's story, and hopefully other creators, you know, bigger channels than me will pick this up as well and really get the word out. I agree. Like, his voice is definitely not that of an adult. I agree, Moonrain. Yeah, but do they... Oop. Yeah, wrong place. He was at home disposing of rubbish. Terrible response. And I meant to click this one, but do they own it? Yeah. All right, y'all. So I am going to say goodbye for now. But as you know, Emmy kind of flies like the wind. You never know when she's going to be here or not. So I may be back later. I may not. But I will give you at least 30 minutes heads up if I should do so. So with that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And until next time, I will see you all on the flip side.